Meat does not cause heart disease. It does not cause high cholesterol. It is not going to kill you. I am definitely not the person who's going to tell you to become a vegan. I think that's completely absurd. But you have to make sure that the quality of the meat that you're putting in your body is quality. The research has been done. Paul Campbell, Cornell University, he wrote a book called The China Study. Ever since that book came out, everybody's been like, well, hey, become a vegan. But they did it, on the hormone injected, McDonald's cheeseburgers type of meat. If you took, 1 million people and you fed them all wild game meat and fruits and vegetables, I can guarantee you that our cholesterol and our blood pressure and our cancer and our overall immune function and overall neurophysiology would drastically improve versus individuals that are vegans living off of carbohydrates, legumes and things that are still going to spike your blood sugar and soy and everything else. It's not the meat. It's the quality of the meat that you're putting in, so we got to stick to it. The other thing here is, I know you guys are going to ask me this question, is like, what about, why can't we have grains and dairy on this 40-day challenge? A couple of different reasons. Number one is that 75% of individuals are allergic or have a sensitivity, right? So you may not necessarily be allergic to dairy or grains, meaning that you don't go in anaphylactic shock whenever you drink or you eat dairy or grains. However, you're sensitive to that. You have a sensitivity, and so therefore your joints hurt. You've got some gut issues. I would say 75% of Americans have an improper gut lining, aka leaky gut, increased intestinal permeability, what the medical community would use. And so the problem with grains and dairy is that they're these big, massive protein molecules. It's really, really hard for a gut that's not in a good position to break down those big proteins, grains and gluten and dairy. And when they can't break them down, what they do is they actually go right through the gut lining, because you have these gap junctions in your gut, right? When you're healthy, those are tight. And what can happen is that you've got this good bacteria, or this mucus lining on the microvilli, and then these particles can actually be, absorbed and broken down. If you have an improper gut lining, which most people do, then you don't have this good, healthy mucous membrane. And then basically your gap junctions begin to open up. So all these big protein molecules go right down through. They go right through the blood into the bloodstream. They cross the blood-brain barrier, and they create systemic inflammation.